Folks, if you're a regular listener to this show, you are familiar with Michael Allen Zell. He is a novelist and into all kinds of book-related things around town. Michael, how you doing?
I'm good. Good to see you. Made it through the heat.
And trying, yeah.
Yes,
Great
sir.
to see you again, man. And you've got, you've done two detective series, the Bobby Dellery series of detective novels, and now you've got a new detective, Maya Gaines. Am I right?
You are correct.
Tell us about. Then there's three of these Maya Gaines books now. Is two or three?
Two. Yeah, I'm working on the third in the trilogy, but officially second one is out. Yeah, the Dellery, and I do want to say this: the Bobby Dellery series hasn't gone anywhere.
Okay.
It just, to speak very generally, back 3 years ago, there were some plans to make that something on screen. The strike killed us, that kneecapped us. Now everything's contracted, so
Sure.
that will return in various forms.
Okay.
But in the meantime,
Yeah.
that's where the My Gaines came from. So it's still New Orleans crime fiction, but instead of a two-lane criminology professor handling things on the street, this is a young lady who's sort of finding her way through martial arts and Eastern philosophy. But it's definitely more of a New Orleans drama, less of an action series,
Very
sort of
good.
thing.
And so the new one is called Black Ice.
It is.
And when did that come out?
You know what? It came out this past spring.
Okay.
So that would have been early April.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you're doing an event, not next week, but the week after. Tell us what's happening. There's an event you're going to be reading and signing and talking about the book?
Yeah. So this will be, so not this week, but a week from this Thursday. So Thursday, August 7th, at the Latter Library Uptown. So that's the one with the beautiful house Spanish tile lawn for anybody that knows Uptown. And that'll be at 5:30.
Okay.
So that'll be a great event. They've really come on as far as just good, different type of literary events there.
That's great. And
Yeah.
so this is a series. The Latter, folks, if you check out, I'm sure you can find your way to the Latter Library online and find out all the stuff that's going on over there. But again, a week from this Thursday, there will be Michael Allen Zell talking about Black Ice and his Maya Gaines detective series. What was remind us of the very first one in the Maya Gaines?
Sure. Yeah. So The Last Shadow was the first one. That was sort of Maya finding her way. If you remember from the cover, there was some reds. Was sort of the reds and yellows, sort of the dawn.
Yeah.
Her back was to the silhouette as the shadow. And this one now you get her from the side. Midnight Blues, which sort of tells the tale on that. But the fun thing is, you know what I realized today? We're not far from 6 months ago to the day, TR, that we had a blizzard.
That's right.
That was I looked it up. It was the 21st of January.
Oh.
When I had that title, I thought, okay, I was looking for any reason not to go with it because, okay, it means different things.
Sure.
It's her nickname. I like the vibe of it, etc. But people in New Orleans aren't going to get the idea that those of us originally from the Midwest, you can be here, actually for me it's 22 years. I think you were here longer, correct? Yeah. But we still know what it means to grow up with black ice. When that stuff comes down so quick that if you're driving on the road, you might end up in a ditch.
Yeah,
New Orleans got that fresh version. And I couldn't believe, people were literally texting me when that was coming down because I had the posters to say, oh, this is a photo op. And now I'm like, okay, now everybody knows what it is.
Yeah.
People literally fell, broke bones the next day, played in it, So yeah.
I remember, this is back going before Katrina, there was I knew some students who had a hip hop vocal combo, and they called themselves Black Ice. And they were really starting to go somewhere, and then Katrina happened and everybody scattered, and I don't know where Black Ice went from there, but Black Ice was going on for a minute, and then life went upside down and sideways for everybody. But how great that you've now got a novel in the Maya Gaines detective series, Black Ice it is called, and you're working on the third one.
Working on the third.
What's the third one going to be called?
It has a working title. Let's just say that.
Okay,
but I don't want to. I'll say this though, like The Last Shadow, like Black Ice, because when I have a title, because those are important to me, going into the writing, I could never, like some people, title on the back end. I need like an umbrella in my mind for the theme of it. I go to Google, I go to Amazon, I go multiple places to see, is this, and like those two where those seem kind of obvious, they haven't really been used, at least for what I'm doing. This will be in keeping with that, for sure. Yeah.
How far along are you? Is this third one going to be relatively soon? You got another year or two on it? What do you think?
It's ready to be outlined.
Okay.
And then what I do is over the rest of the summer will be first draft. So what I do is I outline extensively, leave a little space, for unexpected things, and then I'll take a good 6 to 8 weeks for first draft. And that's just knock it out and then spend at least a year on editing.
Gotcha.
I do the Annie Lamott where it's kind of born out of editing and
course.
Punctuation, spelling, first draft don't matter. Just
Of
get it
course.
out. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the second one of the series, Black Ice. Once again, folks, a week from this Thursday night at the Latter Library on St. Charles Avenue, Uptown, New Orleans. Michael Allenzel will be there to read some passages from it and answer questions about what this is all about. And we should emphasize, folks, this is New Orleans detective fiction, modern New Orleans. So people
Right.
who know the
Right.
city will run into places. Are there some scenes, not to give anything away or spoil much, but are there some key scenes that are set in locations that our listeners are going to immediately know?
You know what? I'm glad you asked that, because sense of place and New Orleans itself may as well be a character in the books.
Sure.
So one key scene for I think because of its more central location, the building that when St. Claude curves and turns into Rampart now, it had another name for a little bit
Yeah.
because of the historic streetcar thing. But
Yeah.
but when you have that curve, and on one side you got the ladies, the bundle store, and the other side there's that long building
Yeah.
that has a little grocery store. Some of that.
Yeah.
That building is one of the key scenes fictionally.
Got it.
When you go all the way out on Chef, people either call Michoud
Yeah.
or Versailles
Yeah.
or basically the Vietnamese area.
Yeah.
That area, when you go 48 off of Chef, is another key area. So there's a few more.
Fantastic.
So people can literally, and in fact, that's a great question also, because one of the other key scenes is all the way the other part of town is Leonidas in the river bend,
Sure.
like half a block before you cross the tracks and go up the levee over by the Batcher houses.
Got it.
So the general idea behind this was to make sort of a geographic and a character triangle. So those two spots, the
Right.
different parts of town, and City Park.
Oh, okay.
And what if a character all the way in the east, all the way in the, not the west, but the end of Orleans Parish that way?
Yeah.
What if two people who had had an incident in the past in another place came here at different times, because the city's a third transplants, and didn't know the other was living here?
Ah.
Because we know a lot of people don't even cross Canal Street, much less leave wherever.
Sure.
And then the third character, this is Maya, unnowingly connects the two of them. So
Ah,
that's the
I
whole
love it.
idea of this.
I love it.
Yeah.
You know, when I first moved here, I'd been living here about a month. I ran into someone I hadn't seen since the third grade. It was a really intense thing. We had a memorable, time as little ones, and then kapow.
Yeah.
30 years later. This is a crossroads of the world, and
It really is.
you can run into people. The past is never the past, and you can run into people from. Every goodbye ain't gone, and you can run into people from a long time back. It's a great thing.
I mean, you can have, and this goes on all the time, right? People that you know of and you just have never run into, and all of a sudden, this happened around Jazz Fest time. Somebody I knew of, what she was doing. If we didn't randomly run into each other 3 times in a week during Jazz, and it was
That's
just,
great. Folks, Michael Allenzel, he is a week from this Thursday night at the Latter Library on St. Charles Avenue, celebrating his new book in his Maya Gaines detective series. It's called Black Ice. It is set in modern New Orleans, today's New Orleans, and if you know the city, you're going to know a lot of the locations in this book. Congrats again on this new detective series, Michael Allenzel, and good luck with Thursday night, and eager to hear about the next one in the series.
I appreciate it. Thank you,
Good
man.
thing. 10 minutes after the hour, 5 o'clock, folks, you got to tune to the greatest radio station of all time, WWOZ 90.7 FM in New Orleans.